Imagine you're going to eat at your favorite restaurant. You have the best meal you ever ordered in your life. You get the biggest, most juiciest steak, the house dessert. You order 3 or 4 appetizers. Everything was so wonderful that the food almost brings you to tears. The food was so delicious that you think to yourself, man, I'm going to give the biggest tip I ever given in my life. 30, 40, maybe even 50%. And as you go to slam the tip down on the table, the owner comes down and says, hold on a second. We are going to tip you. Now just think about that and think about how amazing that would be, right? And I know this is just a bit of an exaggeration, but every time you go to swipe your credit card company tries to tip you. And they tip you in a variety of ways. This could be cash back, travel expenses, paying for your hotel and your vacation. All of these things could be getting paid for just by doing the normal things you do in your everyday life. Grocery shopping, paying for gas, watching TV screaming like Netflix. All of these things can earn you cash back, but you would be surprised that over 31% of people never use these rewards. Today, I'm here to convey some of the advantages that a credit card can offer you while using it responsibly. But before we get into some of the advantages of credit cards, let's go over 3 quick things that you must know prior to getting a credit card. First, understand how compound interest can work against you. If you pile up money on that card and you can't pay it off, know that compound interest is going to be affecting you in a negative way. Number 2, understand the interest rate of your credit card. Sometimes those interest rates can be up to 36%, and that's a ridiculous amount to be paying back to a credit card company. And finally, number 3, never borrow more than you can pay back. Because if you borrow more than you can pay back, that compound interest is going to keep compounding, and even though you're paying a lot of payments, it's going to feel like you're paying nothing. So make sure that you understand those 3 things before even applying for a credit card. Now let's go over some of the advantages that a credit card can give you. The first advantage that we're going to talk about are points. And points can come back in a variety of ways. Many credit card companies give you up to 2% back for every dollar that you spend. For instance, if you spend $1,000 on groceries, you can get $20 back just for buying things that you would already go and buy in your everyday life. Another advantage that you can get from your points is applying that to things like airplane tickets, hotel stays. Many of these things can be completely paid for just by accumulating points over time. So if you want to save money on vacations, or if you want to just get a little bit of cash back on everyday purchases, make sure that you're using your credit card instead of your debit card. So remember, I said you have to do research on your credit card. You got to make sure that credit card program caters to your lifestyle. I personally use the Wells Fargo Autograph, and I'm going to put it up on the screen so you can see some of the different benefits that it can offer you. I personally drive an hour away from work, and I get 3 times the amount of points on getting gas with this credit card. Also buy a ton of groceries because I love the meal prep. I love to stay healthy, and every time I swipe this credit card to buy those groceries, I get 3 times the points again. Now, you can see this credit card fits my life perfectly. I travel a lot, I buy a ton of groceries, and I love enjoy streaming services. So that's why I went with this credit card. Now, you may be different. Maybe for your job, you travel a lot, you fly a lot. You might want to go towards a credit card that's going to give you triple the points for flying. Or you might want to get triple the points for staying at a particular hotel. It is essential for you to do research to find something that suits you. Now, the Wells Fargo Autograph isn't the only credit card that you can use. There are a variety of credit cards out there. And just because you get denied for one doesn't mean you won't get accepted by another. So another example of credit card is going to be the Preferred American Express card. Now this can give you up to 6% back in rewards on groceries, 5% back to going to your favorite restaurant, 5% back to going just to get gas. Now, you have to make sure you do the research for the things that fix you. So both of these credit cards suits my lifestyle because I have to drive a lot to work, so I need plenty of gas. I eat a lot. I go to restaurants with friends, and this is perfect for me because I will be getting rewards on doing all the things that I love. Now, the second benefit for using a credit card is protecting yourself from fraud. Anytime you go and swipe your debit card, you expose all the money into your account to some hacker or someone who's out there trying to steal your money. Now, if you swipe your credit card, you don't have to worry about that. If somebody happens to get into your account, that credit card company will go fight for you, and 9 times out of 10, you're able to get your money back, or most of your money back that was stolen. Now, if you do some of the research and you look at some of the surveys, in 2003, over $408 billion was lost to credit card or debit card fraud. In addition, there's a recent survey done by Federal State Bank that suggests that over 58% of people experience some type of credit card or debit card fraud throughout their lifetime. Now, this is a staggering number, and that is over half the amount of people that's going to be using debit or credit cards that experience some type of fraud throughout their lifetime. Now, you have to think, which way are you going to be safer, and which way do you feel more comfortable? Do you feel more comfortable exposing people to all the money that you worked hard for in your debit card that you may not get back, or do you feel more comfortable swiping that credit card and knowing that most of the time you're going to be able to recoup or recover that money? Nothing is worse than somebody buying a lifetime supply of Doritos and Xboxes with your money. I know that I would be extremely upset if I looked at my transactions and I saw that somebody else was having and living their best life with all of my hard-earned cash. So the third and final advantage that we're going to talk about in this video that credit cards can offer is giving you an emergency fund. So understand that in America, 1 in 3 people have less than $500 in their bank for an emergency fund. And that's an emergency fund to cover something like your tire blowing out, something in your car such as your alternator, your motor going bad, maybe even your AC unit in your home goes out. Having less than $500 to pay for something like that is just not enough to cover it, and it's not enough to make you feel safe and secure. And a credit card is going to allow you to reach and get funds that you might not have immediate access to in your account. So let's say that you apply for a credit card and you get a $3,000 limit, and maybe you make $30,000 to $40,000 a year. So you was unable to save that amount of money up over time, but if something like your tire goes out, your motor blow, you have access to some money just as an emergency fund to be able to fix that. Now, again, I must warn you, please do not take more money than you feel you can pay back. And also, do the research on your interest rate. So if your interest rate is extremely high, it may take you an exorbitant amount of time to pay that money back. But just having that money accessible to you, just in case something goes wrong, makes you feel more stable and more secure about going about everyday life. So yes, a credit card can be super advantageous for your life. You can gain points to travel around the world, fly for free. You can make sure that you have an emergency fund, and just in case something happens and pops up that's unexpected. So maybe you want to think about putting that debit card away and pulling out that credit card next time you want to make a purchase. My goal is to help 1 million people reach financial literacy and financial independence. Hopefully, I got one step closer to doing that today. Thank you for watching.